Hi, 8th grade learners. I was going to write out all the things that we did in the library this week, and I decided that was way too much to write out, and I'll just show you. So I'm throwing this together, this little video, I hope it's not too bad. So what we're doing today in the library is we are looking at the data that we've created from the survey that you took, and we're taking that data, parts of that data, and we're turning them into infographics. So I wanted to show you the things that we looked at today. We did not finish this today. This is a big project. It'll take at least 2 times in the library. So the first thing that the kids did is clicked on the 8th graders complete the survey. Go ahead and click on that, and I know you've done it already. It says you've already responded, but have you taken the time to look at the previous responses? Click on see previous responses, and you can take lots of time scrolling through this and looking at some of these surprising answers that your fellow 8th graders have had. I mean, it's super interesting. So you need to do that. You need to take a look at all of this data. The second thing I did is I showed the kids the raw data that is used to make those pie charts that you see there. So if you hadn't noticed, I shared with you a Google Sheets if you completed the survey. If you didn't see the email where I shared it with you, you can just simply go to Google Sheets and click on Shared with Me and look for the 8th grade survey responses. I told the kids to make a copy of this because right now you're just viewers, you want to be editors, you want to be able to manipulate this and get rid of stuff. So make a copy of this before you start using it. And basically this is the raw data from all the 8th grade. And there's a lot of stuff here. Apparently you haven't used Sheets often, if you click on a cell, this is called a cell. Right now I can't see the title fully, but if I click on it up top left, I can see the full title if I wanted to. I have mashed this all together. When it was originally, when I looked at it for the first time, it gave us much more of the question, so I didn't have to, I could just look at it, but we couldn't see everything as well. Because this is a lot of data. It goes across, goes way down. All right, so when you make an infographic, you're sharing, and I'm going to refer you in just a moment. Well, let's just go there. Go back to my library webpage and click on Other Links, Creating Infographics. And we watched this video about infographics. And then we actually went to Google and searched a topic like sports and typed in sports infographic and then clicked on images, and we looked at all of the many infographics that are out there on a particular topic. We all agree that we would rather learn from an infographic than from just a text. So sharing all of this data, or some of this data, it's going to be much easier for people to ingest and understand if they're seeing it visually through an infographic. There are some things here on this webpage that you can go ahead and look at. Some parts, things that you would want. It's important to pay attention to color and size and font and all that kind of stuff when you're creating an infographic. So come back here and look at all these things at some point. But before you can actually start on your infographic, you do need to decide what part of this data do you want to share, because there's way too much here to share on one infographic, everything. So some of the things we talked about is sorting this list by homeroom, and then looking at maybe the question, how many in this homeroom have reliable internet, or sorting by homeroom and then sorting by the kids who actually did their work last year and didn't do their work last year. How do you do that? So if you want to sort this data just by homeroom, just one column, then you can go to the top of the column, click 2 fingers to bring up your menu, and just click sort sheets. And so what I've done is I've taken everything, all the data, and I've sorted it by homeroom. And so you can scroll through, these are now by homeroom. But let's say that I wanted to sort upon a sort, which is a little bit more complicated. Go up to the top left-hand screen, all the way at this far box here. And if I click on it, it's going to highlight all of my info, which is what I want to do, because I'm going to sort on a sort. Now I click on data and click on sort range. And this is how I'm going to do a sort upon a sort. First thing I want to do is click this box that says data has a header row. The header row is the top, those are the title questions. If I don't click on that, it's going to include those titles in the sort, and it's going to move it all around, and we don't want that. We want the titles to stay at the top. So that's why I click data has a header row, so it doesn't look at that. All right, so my first sort, I click on the pull-down menu, and we've already sorted by homeroom, but I'm going to go ahead and keep that sorting by homeroom, add another sort, and then I want to do it by gender. Then I'm going to add another sort, and this time I am going to do it by, do you currently have internet, reliable internet? So I'm going to click on that. So first I'm sorting by the homeroom. Within the homeroom, girls and boys, and within the two different girls and boys, I'm sorting out the kids who don't have reliable internet. So I click on sort. And what you can see here now that we're looking, and I'm going to just click on this and spread this a little bit so you can. This is the question about, do you have internet at home, homeroom, and gender. So I've got Mr. Garver's. I've got all the females first and the males from Mr. Garver's class. And then within the females, I can see here that two, because I've sorted this way, two females do not have reliable internet from Mr. Garver's homeroom, and then let's see, one male doesn't. So you can do all kinds of sorts. So what we're doing is we're thinking about what you need to do before you can create an infographic, is you have to decide what kind of the data goes together and you want to share. I would pick maybe 3 pieces of data, 4 at the most, things that fit together. You would probably not put on the same infographic information about what's the favorite genre of 8th graders and whether 8th graders turned their homework in last spring when we were learning online. Those things don't really go together, but all the library questions could go together. So you need to decide first, before you can create this infographic, what part of this data do you want to visually show? And then once you've done that, and you've done some sorting, you can get rid of columns. I can just, let me see, I think I can. I'm going to try to delete this column. It's not letting me. I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to do it a different way. I just highlighted the column, and then I'm going to do backspace and get rid of it that way. But I could highlight and get rid of a lot of info just because it's not data that's going to help me. I can just space, get rid of it, and then I can move everything closer, just pull it over. Should be able to delete these. But anyway, so because right now there's a lot of info here, I would probably work on just looking at the info that you want for your. Another thing that you can do, you know, since I realize that you guys don't use sheets very often, I don't know if you know this, but what you could do is you could highlight the parts that you want and then just open up a whole new sheet. Down here in the bottom left, there's a plus sign. Opens up a new sheet, and you could copy and paste some data over on this separate sheet, and that way you don't have all that other stuff showing, and this would be easier to focus on. All right, so After you decide what data you want to share, then you're going to go back and you're going to maybe watch this video, look at this infographic, watch this video down here, in any of these programs. And I'll tell you right now, our 8th graders did not get this far. And we'll be doing this next time. But we picked any of these after we visualized what data we want and how we have an idea in our head what we want it to look like. Then I can click on any of these and then look at their templates and choose one of the templates that's close to what I'm envisioning, or just start from scratch and create one. But these are all good places to make an infographic. All right, so next 2 library times, working on infographics. Any questions? Just email me. All right.